Hello again, and today we are going to create a Barebones to-do app. So start off creating that HTML file, open it up with your choice of editor, and today I'm going with Atom again, but with a new styling theme. So today it's green on black, and we're going to start off with that doc type, HTML, and HTML element, a head, and the body, and you can set up an empty file like this with a template if you want to save yourself some time, but that's something to look into later. For now, it's good to learn how to type it all out. And up in the head, let's start off with a title. Barebones to-do app. And, well, we don't need a style because we're not going to style it. Start off with an H1. As you recall, that's a header element, and H1 is the largest. Then we're going to have a form. So a form is for generally user submissions. It's not the only way to do it, but can be a good way. And inside is an input. Type text. And remember to close all of your elements except for inputs. They don't need to be closed. And then we're going to have a div element. This is just a box. It's all divs are. They're boxes. They can be empty. They can be full of all sorts of things. You can move them around. You can round the corners. But for now, all it is an empty box. And we're going to give each of these an ID, which creates a variable in the global scope. But get to that in a moment. So this is going to be new task. And you can call it new task form if you want, but we're just going to call it new task for now. And this will be list. Nice and simple. So for this, I'm going to give this an ID of new task text. So what happens now is when we go save that and go back, open this with a browser. Alright, we've got something. But when we type here, it's not going to do much of anything. So we want to add an onSubmit. And up here we're going to create a script element for the first time. Now script just means JavaScript. So in here we're going to have new task onSubmit equals function event. Now we have to toss the event over to it, so new onSubmit down here. We're going to fire that off. OnSubmit and send the event inside these parentheses. Now forms are a little funny because the first thing you have to do is event.preventDefault. Now this is because if you don't do this, and by the way these are comments, so this is just for you, it doesn't show up on the page. So stops your browser from sending you somewhere else, because that's the normal functions of forms, but for this we're just using it for user interactivity. So we don't want your browser to go anywhere. We're not selling a product on Amazon. We are just using it for user interactivity. And then what we want to do is we want to do div.innerHTML equals, and here's something interesting. You can actually access a variable inside of a string. These backticks form a string. You can also do that with these or dialogue quotes, but the backticks are special because they let you access variables. And here we want event.target. Well, actually, in this case, we're just going to go with new task text.value. Now that gets this element here, the input, and it grabs its value. So now, when we type something, sorry, my mistake, we want that actually to be list. So this list element, it adds it to the list. But if we type something else, it'll actually replace that instead of adding it. So here we're going to do something, a little trick. Plus equals. Now this is shorthand for list.innerHTML equals list.innerHTML plus that value. But we can skip that by using this shorthand of plus equals. So now it adds it to the list. But a to-do list isn't very useful if you can't tell what you've done and what you haven't. So input type equals checkbox. And look at that, you can tell what you've done. But we want a little more here, so it's annoying to have to clear the field every time you type something new. So we're going to do that automatically. New task text.value equals empty string. So that's just a pair of dialogue quotes. You can use single quotes or double quotes, doesn't really matter. And look at that, it clears the field so you can type something else. Buy groceries, eat cake. But let's say you want to get rid of something. So then we want to, let's add a few more lines here. We're going to add another input, type equals button, and value equals X. So now you've got a button. And on click, we can add some more interactivity. And you can do this a couple ways. We're just going to take the shortcut here. This and .parent node .remove. And when we click this, it disappears. So you can have your first step for the day. Done, done, done. Didn't want to do that? You're done for the day. And there you go, a Barebones to-do app. And now there's plenty more you can do with this, more functionality, some better styling, we can add colors, all sorts of things, but we will do that in another video. And for now, this is it, and you can check out the code if you want a copy of it in the link I will put below the video. And that is a to-do app in 21 lines of code. And thank you all for watching.